On. Okay, I have I have my microphone in, not my Bluetooth. Oh, actually, maybe I should put my Bluetooth in, but oh well. So it's been a while since I've done any social stuff on here. Just thought I would kind of start working things a little bit better. So this is Lincoln. Hi, Lincoln. You're okay, Lincoln. So, okay, wait a second, Lincoln. Okay, there you go, silly boy. Okay, go ahead, Lincoln. You're okay. So Lincoln, go ahead, Lincoln. So Lincoln's having a little bit of trouble walking today, and it's just because he hasn't gone to the bathroom. And so he's having a bit of difficulty because it's in the back end there, obviously. Okay, you're okay, Lincoln. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold on to Lincoln here. Just have this jack. Come on, let's go, silly boy. You're okay, Lincoln. So what I'm doing is I'm just being patient with Lincoln because he's having emotional process, right? He is trying to deal with the aspect of understanding that he is older and he's not able to be as active as he used to be, obviously. Lincoln, so most Great Danes live between 6 to 9 years of age. Lincoln is 160 pounds. He is 11 years, 7 months, actually 8 months. And I'm just going to give Lincoln a little bit of a reset. So what I'm going to do here, I probably can't move the screen over a bit. So I'm going to just take the mic out. What I'm just doing here is I'm just going to flip the screen around a bit. So I'm just going to hold on to Lincoln here. So I'm holding onto his back end. I've got my knee underneath him to support the weight, but it's at the rib cage, at the bottom of the rib cage, and just near his soft part of his tummy, so that way there's a little bit of weight being distributed as I'm holding this up. So I'm holding him up, and as well as in the front here, where my knee is using my elbow, or my elbow is using my knee as a fulcrum. So what I'm doing is, then he's just shifted now. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the weight off to allow Lincoln to have time to rest. So because he hasn't gone to the bathroom too, he's also trying to balance his weight while he's trying to get into position, because he has to go bathroom when he moves. Some dogs don't, most dogs don't, but Lincoln, he needs to move. Okay, come on, Lincoln, let's go, please. Okay, so now he's not able to move for a bit here. So I'm just going to kind of wait with him. And I may have to take the weight off of him again, which is fine. So I'm just going to switch this around. Lincoln. Right. So again, I'm just going to go. You're going to touch underneath here, silly boy. Okay. There you go. So I'm picking up his weight a bit again, and I'm just basically picking up my back end on my toe. What I'm doing is I'm doing what I would do with anyone: is be patient. Right? Life. Compassion. I have an emotional attachment to Lincoln, and so does he. His ability to process rudimentary logic and emotive structures, the complexity has to deal with his context. How well does he know what I'm doing relative to his inability to process or self-actualize? There you go, silly boy. Self-actualize. You're okay. So he just came into me a bit more. It's for him to be able to self-actualize highly contextual. Hey, Lincoln, let's go, please. Highly contextual structures of emotions. He has no reference, no ability to process. I'm just going to switch him around here. So he might just, if he lays down, he's going to lay down, then that'll be fine. Just all the urine everywhere because he's right to the entrance of the dog park. It's the ability, all right. Let me go here, Lincoln. Okay, like that. So I'm just going to pick him up again. I got you, silly boy. I'm just going to pick him up with his weight again at the back end. He's trying to go poo, and it's a bit of difficulty for him. Lincoln, you're okay. You're okay, silly boy. Okay. So I'm going to let him just kind of figure out on it. Oh, there he goes. Come on, Lincoln. Thank you, silly boy. Go ahead, Lincoln. So I'm going to hold him by the back. Right. Okay, let's go, silly boy. Come on, Lincoln. So I'm taking the weight off his back end. He walks in the grass. That's fine if he walks in poo. Okay, Lincoln, let's go, please. So it's There you go, silly boy. There you go, silly boy. You're okay. So the question in regards to Lincoln is, how can he process emotions? He cannot self-actualize. No dog can say, woof, 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 this is how I feel. No other dog can go up to Lincoln and say, woof, 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 this is how you feel. So for Lincoln to be able to know what and who he is requires egocentrism. For Lincoln to understand his context in relation to other objects, human, animal, and trees and all that stuff, requires egocentrism to know who I am, which is therefore I am. I'm out of breath, obviously. You're okay, Lincoln. Yeah, if you want to go, you're okay, Lincoln. So, you're okay, sweetie boy. So he's going to end up going poo, which is fine. So I'm just going to wait with him here, so that if there are bugs or anything around him, I can kind of get them off of him like I am. But the issue is, without egocentrism, we don't know who we are, right? Therefore, I am. And without knowing who we are, we don't know dependencies. Interdependency, codependency, intradependency. What I'm talking about are concepts that are literally everything we talk about in human behavior. The understanding is that there's no demarcation of consciousness between humans and animals. It is all at a corresponding dilutive scale. Because endothermic biology, our brains are all built relatively the same. Animal and human brain, amazingly similar. Well, of course, endothermic biology, evolutional structure, right? That complexity roots from that point. You're okay, Lincoln. You're okay. So, the ability to process emotions is going to be at a corresponding dilutive scale. It's like a can of frozen orange juice with 20 cans of water. You can drink it and you go, this is disgusting, it's all watered down, right? My dad used to do that all the time. But when we go to the grocery store and we buy a bottle of infused flavored water and we drink it, we're like, I can taste a little bit of orange in it. Oh, and a little bit of strawberry. We're paying $5 for basically what is one frozen can of juice to 100 cans of water. What do? Our minds fantasize and create ideation, and we extrapolate that into known interactions, known circumstances. If we've drank water that tastes like orange juice before, we understand it, because initially when we drink it watered down, as a kid, we're like, "Ooh, what is this? This is gross." And then we are told that it's orange juice with lots of water in. We realize, oh my gosh, we have that circumstantial comprehension. It's not a negative, it's not a positive. It is the compartmentalization of all the false positives. That's what our consciousness is. The ability to compartmentalize what artificial intelligence, what mechanical can never do. Biology has the ability to compartmentalize the false positives in infinity. All the answers between 0 and 1. That gets compartmentalized and it becomes aggregative structure and conflationary process. That's what my book is going to come out and discuss in regards to behaviorism. Without having worked with extremely dangerous dogs that have been known to literally try to kill people, dragging them into the shelter, I myself don't elicit an evolutional need to learn of danger or fear. And I'll get back to everything else. When 10 scientists meet a dangerous dog, and they go, the dog's dangerous, let's try this and let's try that. The truth is, at the end of the day, the dog dies and the 10 scientists live. And there's no evolutional elicitation to want to compartmentalize that structure of learning. I've had to do that. So the book will describe all these things that are happening. Hi, Lincoln, you're okay. So we have a dog coming out here. So, but it's providing the context of egocentrism and codependency, intradependency. Lincoln, you're okay. Lincoln, you're okay. Lincoln.
Just wants to say good morning, maybe.
It's okay.
Hello.
It's okay. Lincoln, you're okay. You're okay, Lincoln. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay, Lincoln. So what it is teaching dogs interdependency, codependency, and intradependency relative to egocentrism. Again, if you don't have that relational comprehension of what is happening to yourself, therefore I am, then you have no comprehension on your environmental interactions or interrelational structures. Without that comprehension, we have another dog come by here. Lincoln, you're okay, silly boy. You're okay.
Oh.
So with all that ability to understand who you are, kind of maybe let's clean up what Freud and all these other individuals have mistaken, because I'm going to go on that part, is that you cannot process a psychological structure if your ability to comprehend consciousness doesn't exist. So I am in a way saying the current academia is incorrect, because there's no foundational basis or comprehension of what's going on, nor has anyone ever been involved to a structure where they have to be worried about dying. When I'm with these guys like him, Lincoln, like David, who was on 80 milligrams of Prozac, 750 milligrams of trazodone for 2 years of his life, he comes here completely weaned in his natural predaceous nature, 38 inches, 3 feet 2 inches at his shoulders, 200 pounds. Very dangerous dog, but not as dangerous as the one that's listed in the newspaper article in my description down there. And that is Walter, formerly known as Tonka. Same size as David, but attacked, not bitten, 16 people and attempted to kill a shelter worker when he dragged her into his stall at Southampton's animal shelter. So they got big, deep pockets. But there's no reason for them to learn, because there's no impetus to survive. There's no evolutional elicitation in the body of the scientists if they don't have to worry about dying. So they can't learn, because circumstantially they're not exposed to it, just like dogs able to process rudimentary structures of logic and emotions, because they don't have the capacity to understand, because there's no circumstances, there's no context. You see how all human consciousness relative to animal behavior consciousness, it's exactly the same, but at a corresponding dilutive scale. Gotcha. Makes sense, right? Intuitively makes sense. Women will always understand this more so because the cogency is much more evolved. Truly it is, because men somewhat more predaceous in that nature. The comprehension is understanding behavior and understanding that for Lincoln to process things, it's too complex for him and he's not used to it. You're okay, Lincoln. So you can see that double nudge on his bottom of his chin against my hand. We have to understand physical behavior, nuanced behavior. So that's why I can work with every single dog, no matter how dangerous, no matter what size. I look for dogs that have literally tried to kill people, that are at least 150 pounds with at least 12 attacks on humans. No regular kind of bites or anything, but literal ability to attempt to kill someone. And you can see that in a newspaper article with the Vancouver Sun, where they featured that part of helping dogs with kindness and compassion. Cogency, building cogency so that Lincoln understands who he is, emotively has context. You're okay, Lincoln. So I'm going to look behind me. Lincoln, you're okay. You're okay. And he looks forward. He looks forward because cognitively he understands that I'm watching this side, he's going to watch that side. If you look at my YouTube channel, Arf Arf Bark Bark, for a dog named Loki, the Shiba Inu that I worked with about 4.5 years ago with Forever Freed, you'll see that I'm predicting when Loki will turn his head forward and backwards. So you understand that what I just said now is not coincidental, but it's proof of concept. It's not a theory, my work is theorem. I can prove it every single time. You do not need treats, medication, absolutely nothing at all. All of that is both professional malpractice and academic malpractice or deficiency. You don't need treats or medication to deal with an issue. If you give a dog that's dangerous food, you have to understand that the canine species fights to the death over food. It's an evolutional structure. When you give treats to a dysfunctional dog, you're literally eliciting and enabling predator instinct that is evolutionarily structured. No amount of modern science or no amount of proclamation by the scientists or academics that go, no, modern science is correcting that. You cannot correct evolution. You can only evolve it. So the issue is when those scientists say those things that, oh yeah, modern science does it, if that was indeed the case, then why are you unable to deal with extremely dangerous and predatorial dogs? You're okay, Lincoln. They cannot. They kill them. If a dog kills another animal or human, they kill that dog. That's it, right? Again, these guys have attempted to do so numerous times, and Great Danes have PSI up to about 700 PSI. They can crush my arm in one bite. And you've seen videos where Walter's eating a chicken leg and it's like just potato chips. It's understanding evolutional structure. If you understand evolutional structure, you don't need treats or medication, bridging, Lima, alpha, all these brute force devices, because we need to understand that our dogs, we hold them in a Stockholm syndrome. We literally hold our dogs hostage, just like children. We control their lives. We control when they go to the bathroom, when they get petted, when they eat, when they go to sleep, when they go for car rides. So what ends up happening is we just have, Lincoln, you're okay, silly boy. You're okay. Lincoln, you're okay. So I look behind. Lincoln, you're okay. And then he'll track him. Lincoln, you're okay. Lincoln, you're okay. You're okay, Lincoln. You're okay, Lincoln. So he looks behind him again. And of course he sees me, see that? He sees me crossing, just like in the Loki video. It's not proof of concept in the theorem aspect of it. It's just understanding behavior. And this is all, you can find this in my videos where I'm working with an alpaca, with cats, with horses. And it's not saying that I'm just some genius or something like that, even though, you know, I'm smarter than my brothers who have 166 IQ themselves. You can see Daniel Chai, and he's written for Toronto Sun, Globe and Mail, everything. Anyways, retired lawyer at 42. So I'm just saying that because it's like hurting me here. But we have to understand how relational structures happen. Comprehension, egocentrism, codependency, healthy codependency. We hold our dogs in a Stockholm syndrome. We hold them hostage. There's nothing they can do without us. Literally, we decide when they live or die. When you show up 5 hours late feeding your dog, he's not thinking, oh my gosh, you're the worst dad ever. He's thinking, how did you know I was hungry? This is a coincidence, that structure of comprehension, codependency, relational comprehension of that structure of societal processing. We think everything's deliberate, but everything is an ideation in our lives. That's why people think there's a simulation. But the reality is we are living fantastically with our ideations. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up at 6 a.m., which I usually get up sooner than that. I get up at 6 a.m. I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. But I don't know that's going to happen. My alarm might not go off. I might oversleep. I might wake up at 5:45. Maybe I set my alarm wrong. It's all fantastical ideation that is egocentric, societally oriented in an interrelational comprehension. That's how language is different. That's why we have different dialects and accents in language. Noam Chomsky is incorrect on how language is developed. Language is regionalization. It's compartmentalization, just like consciousness, the compartmentalization of the false positive. It makes no sense to change the basic function of nature itself and start fantastically making other thoughts that it might have happened this way, language happened this way. No, if you understand the structure of consciousness, that's it. Between 1 and 0. That's why you will never get true organic artificial intelligence, because they don't understand the structure of the mechanical limitation of its innate build. It's mechanical. There's nowhere for your computer to go left, right, and straight into the maybe. That's why your computer hangs for 1,000,000 years, because it's actually come up with a false positive. It doesn't know which way to go because it doesn't have a 1 or 0 answer. So your computer, kind of, you want to say, is trying to become alive. So understanding consciousness and the context of structure occurring, we then understand for Lincoln, if he learns that when he's in pain here, I'll take care of him, and then he learns that I'll take care of him, so he wants me to look over there. See, I look over there, what does he do? He understands that I'm looking for him. Do you understand that it's a human behavior, but it's predacious and it's rudimentary, so then I build context, cogency. When Lincoln understands one circumstance like this, he'll understand the next time he's in the similar circumstance, I'll be able to help him there as well. He understands context. And I'm going to end this soon. When I am walking with Lincoln, I'm letting him walk ahead of me, because he remembers as a puppy with whoever he grew up with that he would be told, slow down, you're going too fast. So then I remind him of that by bringing these tones and structures back to him, so that he has a full circle of consciousness and cogency. It's able to maintain recollection structures all the way back, even though it's a nascent, almost somewhat intangible structure. Because I call it quantum thinking, where we're able to think logic and illogic emotion simultaneously, which is what we're doing. So at the end of the day, by letting Lincoln walk ahead, it allows him to maintain confidence and self-esteem. And again, it maintains that deep-seated emotional structure that he learned as a puppy. All right, the soul of a dog. Now you understand why every single dog can be helped without medication. We got to get the arrogance and the conceit out of the individuals who think I'm wrong, because you're letting 6 million dogs be killed annually. That's 110 million dogs domesticated in North America, living in about 65 million homes. 6 million is only a 5% kill rate. That's normal. But they can be saved. They can all be helped. All my work and all my videos prove it. I'm not a social guy, that's why I don't go online. It's just very self-conscious. And when I used to do that publicly, all the trainers and behaviors and the well-known behaviors all slammed me. But this is the work. You've seen it live happening. Now you understand the concept that I'm talking about is far beyond their capacity to understand. The PhDs with 160, 170 IQ, they don't understand what I'm talking about. I've been scaled quite a bit higher. So the issue that happens is I get suppressed and I feel bad and depressed, right? And I don't want to work anymore because I'm like, well, if nobody understands. But the reality is I got to look, and I believe in God and I believe in evolution, and that theory will blow you guys away on that one day. But I do understand life itself. And it would be human malpractice if I didn't share what I'm doing. So I'm going to get my book out. You're going to see it's going to be a series. It's being done by Leaders Press. The other book that I wrote a chapter for is already like 91 on the USA Today bestseller list. It is number 2 on Barnes & Noble in 5 days, all that stuff. And they vetted all my work. So now I feel better, of course. But the sad thing is all the trainers and behaviors that mock me and say, nah, blah, blah. But they don't have the interest on saving dogs' lives. Lincoln, you're okay. The blink pattern, all these things, psychosomatic manifestations. Anyhow, thank you guys for checking in. And if you enjoy what I'm doing, please share my work. We can change lives. I can prove it because I've risked my life. And I'm going to do it again. The next time when Lincoln says goodbye, there will be another Great Dane that is predatorial, hopefully. 150 pounds, at least 12 attacks, not bites. That is what I'm looking for. All right. There you go. Lincoln, you're okay, silly boy. Lincoln, you're okay. So I'm going to look back there. Lincoln, you're okay. You're okay, Lincoln. All right. Thanks, guys.